Hello there, it's me again, Kenneth Ezaga. For those of you who wanted to know, I'm a marketing professional with a strategic interest in sports. This is the second of a series of videos I'm doing in the hope that I can rally Nigerians out there to fully support and invest in our domestic sports industry because of the huge economic and social cultural benefits that we stand to reap by doing so. Today, I'm going to be examining the issue of whether we have enough money in this country to run a vibrant 21st century football industry. Straight away, I'll tell you that we do, but some of you might disagree with me. But to understand it from my point of view, you've got to understand how much it is that we as Nigerians spend on foreign football properties every year in this country to then get a sense of what we deny our domestic football industry of. Now, there are about 7 major European football properties that drain our pockets in this country every year. At the top of the hill, there's the English Premier League. And then you have the UEFA Champions League, the English FA Cup, the English League Cup, the Spanish La Liga, the German Bundesliga, and the Italian Serie A. Together, we as Nigerians blow over $200 million on these properties every year when you consider television rights, tourism, sponsorship and advertising, and merchandising. As far as merchandising goes, you see it everywhere. Nigerians wearing their favorite European club jerseys. You know, they even have car stickers, car flags, boots, bandanas, you name it. And what about advertising and sponsorship? It never ceases to amaze me, for one, that in the country with the highest population of poor people in the world, our leading marketing men and brands, choose to drain billions of naira from the already weak economy to go and sign major sponsorship deals with European clubs. And when it comes to the telecast of these games, they spend a further billions, advertising to us. What about tourism? You and I, the average Joes know, that the minute we can save up enough money to buy a ticket, we're off to Europe, especially the United Kingdom, to go and watch our favorite clubs play. When we get there, we dump all of the monies that we've collected from our Nigerian banks into their banking system. Our big boys, leaders in business and government in this country, do theirs in grander style. These guys fly in their private jets to Europe to go and watch those games. Some of them pool resources together to charter planes. Some fly first class. A majority of these guys are season ticket holders, would you believe it? All right. So it is billions of naira, tens of billions of naira we spend every year on tourism, advertising and sponsorship, and merchandising on these European football games. But let's even put those to the side and focus on the more verifiable figure of what we spend on the TV rights for these properties. Now, I'm going to focus on just one of these properties, and that's the English Premier League. How much do we spend to put the English Premier League on our television sets every year in this country? To answer that, I'll refer you to Mr. Tony Subai. Mr. Tony Subai is the entrepreneur that was behind the HITV project. You remember they had the EPL rights for a period. And in a recent interview, he said that his company paid $40 million for the EPL rights in 2009. $40 million. Admittedly, this was part of a 3-year project deal that was apparently supposed to cost $110 million. So 11 years ago, we were already paying $36.6 million for the EPL on the average every year. So the question is, how much do we pay for the EPL today? I don't know. But I have a report of the Daily Mail UK that stated clearly that the sub-Saharan right holder for the EPL had agreed to pay £168 million for the rights for the 2019 to 2022 window. And that the £168 million was exactly double the £84 million that the rights holder was paying for the preceding 3 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it stands to reason that we in Nigeria at least are paying double what we were paying for the rights 11 years ago. So that would put us in the territory of like $73 million a year to watch the EPL in this country. Let's even drag that down, all the way down to say maybe like $60 million. This is money that you and I have. $60 million is there. It's real money. It's not government assistance. It's not international aid. It's money that you and I have. Money that is paid to us at the end of the month as salaries. We then take a bit of that to pay DSTV for their programming. DSTV then collects from the pool to pay the EPL for the rights to the game. So you have $60 million. Then there's the choice. Do we put the $60 million in our league and grow richer? Or do we put the $60 million in the EPL and grow poorer? Let me tell you, DSTV would gladly give you the $60 million to run the Npfl in this country. You know why? Sorry, all they require is that you give them the same level of enthusiasm and numbers that they get from the EPL today, all right? The reason DSTV would likely give you that money is because they know that the money will stay here. If the money stays there, it grows. If it grows, we are all wealthier as a result. So it's easier then for us to pay for our DSTV subscriptions. But today they are forced to give it to the EPL because that's what you people want to watch. And when they give it to the EPL, they know we grow poorer. When we grow poorer, it becomes more difficult for us to pay for our DSTV subscriptions, as is the case today. So there you go, people. You have $60 million in this country to run at least your premier football league, such that, you know, if you get the Premier Football League right, all of the monies we have not taken into account will then get into the picture to run as many football properties as you want in this country every year. $60 million. If you had that kind of money, what would you do? Would you be able to transform the Npfl with that kind of money? Let me even hear your ideas. What would you do? Put it here and let all of us discuss this. All right? And you can come back here in a week's time to hear my own ideas of what I'll do with $60 million if I had it to run every year, to run the Premier League in this country every year. $60 million. Here's a guarantee to you, ladies and gentlemen, if I had that kind of money to spend. In 3 years, the Npfl will be the biggest entertainment product in this country. In 6 years, we'll be the biggest league in Africa by some distance. In 10 years, we'll be one of the biggest 10 leagues in the world by shared numbers of followers. If you doubt me, come back again next week, Monday, and hear my own ideas, all right? Until then, if you want to join our group, the Nigerians Behind Nigerian Sports, please leave your details on my Facebook page and we'll get in touch with you. Otherwise, you can call or send a text message to 0807 0530 677. See you next week. Thank you.